welcome to Binging with Badness, the only podcast that has won the Royal Rumble from the number one position. The other one is Shawn Michaels. My name is Mitchell McIntyre.
And I'm Vanessa Vogel.
And this is Fast 5. And this movie is off its tits.
But like in a good way.
It is. So, as we all know, and you know, the sole reason we kind of picked this series is because we know it goes from a racing movie to a heist film to an action-adventure spy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in heist mode.
I like it.
I do too. This is probably my favorite of the pentology so far.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because it finally feels like it's sunk in to the cheesiness that it is.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, the first 4 movies, really, are so consumed about being cool. And this one just kind of is. Like, it is cool, you know?
We took a 10-ton safe, tracked it to 2 cars.
Oh, hold on. Let's not spoil what's going on.
I'm trying to tell them how level of cool.
Oh, I know. And we'll get there. But we gotta explore, because the thing he does at the very end,
mm-hmm.
when he's like, it was always gonna be like this, and he's just like, pew, and he's like, ah. I'm making hand signals. You guys can't see it, but yeah. So Fast 5. This is the first, and I guess we can call it the modern series.
Mm-hmm.
There are no neon on any of the cars. We use the NOS button once.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, no, just once.
Yeah, just once. And again, it's for actually a legitimate use.
For a cool reason. Actually, at some point, The Rock is in this movie, brings up, like, they bring in a car, and it's a really nice, like, classic American muscle car.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, look at what they've done to her. Might as well just stick neon on the undercarriage. I see you, Dwayne. I see you, buddy. But yeah, so this is probably the one
mm-hmm.
I am initially annoyed with the least.
I like it.
That's what I mean. And we'll get into the...
Which is weird, because you think we would be trash. I would like Tokyo Drift. But
yeah,
like,
right, but Tokyo Drift was bad.
It's
though.
very bad.
There was very little Tokyo in it. Like...
Uh-huh. But...
yeah.
I have a question. Where are we in the Rock space continuum on a scale of throw all the money at him to... Wasn't he on wrestling?
We are just on the cusp of throw all the money at him. I believe this is the franchise that tipped him over.
Oh,
because,
okay.
For those of you who don't know, the Fast and the Furious franchise is like the 5th most high-grossing franchise of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Fast and the Furious?
Yeah, well, actually, so I looked this up the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Furious 7
mm-hmm.
is the 4th or 5th highest grossing movie of all time.
Really?
Yeah. It's Avengers Endgame, Avatar,
mm-hmm.
Titanic, something else. And then I want to say Furious 7.
Oh!
Which blew my mind, and I think that has to do, at least a little bit, due to the untimely passing of Paul Walker, that being his final film.
Rest in peace, buddy.
But yeah, like, that, I was not aware how big this series really was.
Mm.
But now, because I've spent so long kind of with it, and like I told you earlier today, I've spent so much time making fun of this series
mm-hmm.
that now that I'm like really into it, I've seen the first 5 films. Mm-hmm. Damn it, I gotta see it through. and it's not like, well, I guess I gotta watch it. I'm kind of interested to see where this goes next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was a struggle getting through. You know, the first one. I think the first one is probably the most boring, except for maybe 4.
The most boring?
Yeah.
Well, 3 at the minimum. Well, it's
3
not
is the worst.
the worst, but it's not boring.
Yeah. But not, like, it's also not bad in a fun way. It's just, like, loud.
Mm-hmm. It's a Transformers
and
movie.
loud.
How do you smell loud and annoying?
But yeah, so now now that we're here, I'm glad we did this one because I gotta see. But anyway, so Fast 5, alternately known as Fast and Furious 5 or Fast and Furious 5 Rio Heist, is a 2011 American heist action film directed by Justin Lin, who we will know from doing 3 and 4, and I believe he does 6 as well. The film stars Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Jordana Brewster, Tyrese Gibson, Chris Ludacris Bridges, Matt Schultz, Sung Kang, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Gal Gadot. This movie is the Avengers of this series.
Is it really?
Because this is the movie that brings them all together.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, was Fast and the Furious the first Avengers? Are Avengers secretly a Fast and the Furious ripoff?
Yeah.
Because Fast and Furious came way before the whole Avengers initiative.
So, Fast 5 follows Dominic Toretto, Brian O'Connor, and their team as they plan a heist to steal $100 million from a corrupt businessman, Hernan Reyes, while being pursued for arrest by U.S. Diplomatic Security Service agent Luke Hobbs, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who I will only call The Rock. I know he's trying to, separate the two.
Yeah, he didn't even have the quotes in the credits.
Did he not?
No, it was just Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson? Yeah. I'm sorry. You're just The Rock to me. I grew up in the 90s. The Rock was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah, and anyone who sees him on the street doesn't go, look, it's Dwayne Johnson. No, they go, is that the fucking Rock?
Or you say Rocky. I don't. He's trying to get over DJ.
Oh,
You
Rocky,
call him
no.
DJ.
Why? Oh, Dwayne Johnson's got
Yeah,
it.
if you weren't so goddamn eminently likable. You know what I mean?
He's The Rock. Or the guy with way too many pancakes.
True that. Well, no, that's the New Day.
Yeah, but...
Okay.
yeah, but where do you think they got those pancakes?
True that. So, while developing Fast 5, Universal Studios deliberately wanted to depart from the street racing theme. Because they wanted to create a more casual, friendly film. And to be into those first two movies, they're very much car films. Like, they how cool the cars are, and a Nissan GT X8, whatever. If you're into the mod scene, if you're into the underground scene, that's your movie. But if you're not, you don't give a fuck.
That's true.
You don't give a fuck.
80% of us don't.
Yeah. So they turned it into a heist series.
Which 100% of us are into.
Which, yeah, everybody will watch a heist movie. Shit. And I think that was the best way to go about it. So this is considered the transitional film. We do have a race, but we only have one. And then we don't really talk about it. We have a moment where they're just like, yeah, feels good to be home. And then they never talk about it again. And here there's a lot more gunfights. There's a lot more hand-to-hand combat punch-em-ups. It is just kind of straight up an action film. The film received generally positive reviews, and this is actually the highest rated film at the time of the Fast and Furious series. And made $625 million worldwide, making it the 7th highest grossing film of 2011. Big deal. Big money. Which is why we are now going on to F9, the 9th sequel in the Fast and the Furious series, and one spinoff.
Are we going to kill it at 10?
That is the idea, yes. By the way, I saw a trailer for F9. If you watched the Super Bowl, we talked about this last week. John Cena's in it. Do you know who John Cena is playing?
The Rock.
No, that would be funny. John Cena is playing Dominic Toretto's younger brother. The bad guy. Duh.
Okay, hold up. We need to talk about the Toretto family line.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Vin Diesel is very clearly some kind of tan.
Okay.
And so is Mia, just a little bit.
Yeah.
John Cena is the whitest man I've ever seen.
Yeah, this will be fun.
How are we gonna just write...
I can't see John Cena as a bad guy.
Well, that's what we used to say about Heath Ledger, and then he did the Joker. So
True that. I have a feeling this isn't going to be the Joker.
you don't know.
I don't.
Could.
You're right. I don't know shit. But
We know he can do comedy. I saw Trainwreck.
that's
That was
what I mean. Like,
fucking rad.
we've seen him do action movies, and he just doesn't fit. You know, it's.
To be fair, those action movies were WWE produced.
No, he's done other ones.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not good either. I think these kind of like meathead comedy roles are really where he shines.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
That's true.
I'll go see it. It comes out this May, I want to say. And if it is available on like HBO Max or something like that right away, I think we'll do a video on it.
Yeah.
If it's only available in theaters, we'll see it when you come out on DVD.
Yeah.
Because I ain't risking my health for fucking Fast and Furious.
I don't think people realize that we won't do it. Like, that we won't risk our lives for this. Like,
well, they thought we would for Tenet, and look what happened there.
yeah, because Christopher Nolan believes that the only way that you should watch a movie is in a sticky theater where teenagers give handjobs.
That is true, and that is part of the part of the mystique. But like, look, I love watching movies in theaters. There's nothing like it. But there is not a movie in the world, past, present, or future, that if it came out right now, I would go out to a theater to see.
Not even like The Missing Third. What's the name of that movie that you love? Fuck. With the Irishman. I know this one. Don't help me. Fuck. It's there. It's not In Bruges. Well, In Bruges 2. But, which would be a fucking weird
There
movie.
isn't going to be an In Bruges 2, I'll tell you that.
Which would be a fucking weird movie just to try to pull off.
Just a sad Colin Farrell for 2 hours.
We'll find another midget. It's fine. Boondock Saints.
Yeah, it is. And no. Because I like the Boondock Saints. I do. That's right. I said it. Fight me. But, like, the second one I saw in theater, because it was fun and I liked it, it's not enough for me to...
Yeah.
And Jesus Christ himself...
Could be putting on a production.
Could be putting on a production of Othello. And I'd just be like, I don't know, Jesus.
Jesus Christ starring as Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ Superstar. Yeah.
Live production at the theater near you.
Maybe if we got, like, free tickets to a Broadway performance of Hades Town, and it's like a one-time thing.
And they're really good seats.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I would think really hard about it. But that's never gonna happen, so it ain't gonna happen. So like we said, if it comes out, I don't know if it will. I don't know if it's universal, so I don't think so. If it comes out on streaming like day of, then yeah, absolutely we'll do it. But if not, we'll see you next year. We'll pop in real quick and go hi, and then we'll leave. Anyway, I think that's all the preamble. You got anything to say before we get into this thing?
No.
Alrighty. Curtain up. We begin at the end of Fast and Furious. Dominic Toretto is experiencing something that no other affluent white man has ever experienced before. Consequences to his actions. He is on a prison bus headed towards prison after the events of Fast and Furious. But trailing behind him are Mia Toretto, Brian O'Connor, and those two guys we don't really... They were kind of here for a little bit. They'll be back later.
Is that the ones who burnt the ribs? Is that the same dudes?
Yep. And then, they weren't cool enough to look at, even though they're in this movie.
What are their names?
I have them written down.
I saw this movie and I cannot tell you.
Yeah. My copy didn't have subtitles. So anytime they spoke Portuguese, I had no idea.
It's okay. Even the subtitles just said spoken Portuguese.
Really?
Yeah.
That's annoying. So they're driving and they're splitting the thing, like we said at the end, to try and take out the bus. This is the most badass they have ever let Mia Toretto look.
Yes.
So I thought they would do some fancy driving to stop the bus. The same way they did the trucks. You fire the harpoon, do the thing, stop them, that kind of thing. No, they don't. What happens is Brian drives in front of the bus and then stops and crashes the bus. The bus then does like 8 full rotations in the air and crashes, and we cut to black. Fast 5.
How did they not think this plan is going to get Dom killed?
I have no idea, but Dom survived without a scratch on him, which we'll find out later. Fuck the other prisoners, I guess, which we never see again.
According to Bird, they did all right.
Yeah, so we fade to black, and we fade back in to a news story, and apparently, and I didn't realize this, I thought 4 took place in California, but apparently it took place in Pawnee, Indiana, because the news anchor who is doing the story is the same guy who plays Perd Hapley on Parks and Rec.
Now you heard with Perd.
On this, the story that I'm telling you right now. This movie that is both Fast and Furious.
What a weird typecast.
And he's in so quick that you're just like, what?
Whoa, God, Perd, what you doing here, buddy? Okay, bye. Perd, come back.
Apparently everybody survived fucking somehow, despite the fact that bus flipped so many times.
Yeah, and everyone definitely should have died.
And there was 26 prisoners altogether. 25 of them are accounted for. One of them isn't. No cookie for guessing who it is.
No cookie?
No cookie.
But yes, I like cookie.
We'll get you a cookie, but for a different reason. Just not for this one. Yeah, so they call Dominic Toretto a high-risk inmate. High risk for what? Because Dom didn't kill anybody. I mean, not directly. I don't think.
Well, okay, let's run.
Oh, wait, no, fuck, yeah, he did.
What? Which one? Which time?
He drove his car into Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? He just fucking bisected the man?
Oh, yeah.
Never mind.
And also, he beat a man almost to death with a fucking pipe.
You know...
Or was it a socket wrench?
It was a wrench of some sort. And shout out to this series. Because they didn't just let that go. That comes back in the film.
Yeah.
As a character building moment, which we'll get to at the end. But this movie is actively trying to be. And I appreciated that it's not just... You know, all these movies have, like, one scene that's, like, character building. And you're like, there it is.
We forgot that Dom has anger management problems.
Boy, do we. The word is out that Brian is officially on the run and a former FBI agent. The FBI starts an entire manhunt nationwide for Brian, Dom, and Mia. But not Leo or Santos, because I guess they weren't interesting enough. They've disappeared into the night, and nobody can find them. Because they've moved to Rio de Janeiro. We get a shot of the great big Dominic Toretto statue. I mean, Jesus statue. Brian and Mia are waiting for Dom's arrival in a small Brazilian neighborhood. And as they go, like, it must be kind of sketchy, because, like, as they walk up the stairs, everybody starts looking at them, and they got guns, and they're ready to kind of, like, pounce on them. Until we hear a voice tell everybody to stop, because they're with him. That voice is the voice of Vince. Remember Vince?
No.
Vince was in the first movie.
Was he?
Vince was the guy who had a crush on Mia, and then Brian stepped in, and he's like, "Oh, Vince, what's that restaurant you like?" And he explained it, and he goes, "Cool, Brian, that's where you're taking me." That was Vince.
Oh, what a douchebag!
I have here. Remember Vince? Well, he's back in Pog form. Vince is holding on to a grudge because, according to him, and he's not wrong, he holds everything that happened to them in L.A. To Brian, because Brian is was a police officer, and got them arrested, and that one kid killed, and that whole thing. So, like, yeah, you're not wrong, but also, shut up.
Shut up. That was like 3 movies ago.
Quiet, kid, you bother me.
Fuck off.
According to Vince, ever since then, he's gone through a spiral. Just life has been terrible until he met his wife. So now he is married with a child. They come up a little bit.
Cute little baby.
Cute baby. Very cute baby. So Vince wanted to wait till Dom showed up, but Dom isn't here yet. So he lets them in on a job that's happening. We gonna rob a train.
Yay!
So basically what's going to happen, there are 3 cars on the train. We're going to go in and steal them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Works for me. There's going to be 2 teams. There's going to be Brian and Mia. There's going to be Vince and the cast of Mad Max Fury Road. Because while Brian and Mia are on the train, outside, these guys are driving like this weird desert buggy with a ramp on it. The one guy's got like a full-on face mask. Like I said, like we're going beyond Thunderdome here. So Brian and Mia are on the train. They talk a little bit about a vacation, where they're gonna go, and they pick places with no U.S. extradition. They go to find the cars. There's 3 of them. They're wrapped in like a tarp, and they have all been seized by the DEA.
Uh-oh.
So now we're not just stealing cars, we're stealing evidence. Brian and Mia unhook the cars from the inside of the train, while the Mad Max gang cut into the train car, just like take out the side wall. They bust it down, and in through the sunlight walks Dominic Toretto. Like he's Jesus. He's less Batman in this movie.
Yeah, we switched it over to Jesus because I guess Brian's not Jesus anymore, and Vin Diesel gets to have a turn.
Mom says it's my turn to be Jesus. Using some fancy bungee cord system, they take the car from the train, pull it sideways onto the slant on the truck, the ramp on the truck, tilt it backwards, and then drive it off and away. Because nothing can go smooth, Dom realizes that everybody here, except for, him, Brian and Mia, they just want the one car. It's like this blue GTO looking thing. And so he stops and gets Mia into that car. The guy flips the fuck out, and starts shooting. So they start fighting, and then this is our first big, like, hand-to-hand combat moment. At this point, the DEA comes through, and they are immediately shot and killed.
Yeah. They're like, oh no, we're getting robbed. Oh no, we're dead.
Oh no, we're dead. So, alright. Well, I gotta explain what's going on here. So, Brian gets into the ramp truck, and tries to, like, avoid any kerfuffles. But he's in a bit of an accident, so it starts leaking gas, and then it catches on fire. He gets thrown out of the car, and he's, like, holding on by one hand. Dom is in the train of fist-fighting people, as you do.
There's a blowtorch involved.
There's a blowtorch involved. There's a whole thing. So Dom sees out Brian is in trouble, and then Brian is like, "Hey Dom, there's a bridge coming, and if they go through that bridge, Brian is just doomed." So
I was thinking, like, why not just get on top of the train? But then the gas explosion would probably fuck with him quite a bit.
So at one point, Brian, like, got into the car, the ramp car, drove away trying to escape the train, then drove back up and into the train. As you do. At one point, Dom just hucks a guy out of the train, killing him instantly.
Oh yeah, he hit like a bunch of metal bars.
Yeah,
didn't he?
it was horrible.
Yeah, no, this man is armed and dangerous.
Yeah. So, trying to make it just before the car is careened off of a bridge, Dom gets into the final car, drives out of the train, drives back towards Brian, so Brian can jump from the train into Dom's car in the nick of time, and then they drive off of a cliff, jump out of the car, and into the water. They are then immediately kidnapped.
Yeah, but what looked like, I believe, it was like the redneck CIA.
Well,
it was a lot of plaid.
This is actually Reyes's team. So they kidnap him, and they bring him to see Lord Bad Guy. And Lord Reyes, Crime Lord Reyes, is like, "Hey, I want that car. Where's that car?" And Dom's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't, what car? I don't know anything about cars. And so bad guy is like, yes, well, I'm gonna kill your sister. To which I was like, that's a little far.
Well, he's a drug lord. They're psycho.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, well, you know the stakes. I'm gonna leave. You, torture them. So Reyes leaves, and there's one guy who's doing all the torturing. And then Dominic just breaks free of his handcuffs.
Yeah.
Snaps him like a twig.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then they beat the hell out of that guy, and they go into the safe house. Almost not worth a scene not worth talking about. So they are all over the news because right now they're being blamed for the death of the DEA agents. Brian is like, okay, we're screwed because those were federal agents. They already don't like us. They are going to make an example out of us. And they are going to bring their best and brightest. They're going to bring the top of the line. And who's the best and brightest? Who's the top of the line? The fucking Rock.
Yeah.
Diplomatic Security Service agent Luke Hobbs puts together a team to chase these people down. Says they're professional runners. They like speed. Do not, under any circumstances, let them get into a car. Hobbs needs two things. First, a translator, because he doesn't feel like learning Portuguese. He picks Elena Neves. She's almost a non-character. Secondly, he needs one other thing. For them to stay the fuck out of his way. That is our first PG-13 F-bomb, everybody. All of the Rock's lines are bad.
Yes, this is true. I couldn't figure out if his delivery was bad or they were written poorly.
They're written poorly.
I see.
Because he's got stuff to say like, all right, you want the good news or the bad news? He goes, oh, come on, man. You know I like my dessert first. And so he tells him, and he goes, all right, now give me the veggies. Who the fuck talks like that?
Well, The Rock in actual wrestling, yes.
Yeah, but The Rock is not a character you see in everyday life, you know?
That's true.
Again, if The Rock wasn't so eminently likable...
Yeah, no, he's got the charisma score to pull this off.
Yeah, right?
This, by the way, turns into a D&D campaign real quickly.
How do you figure?
Because only a team of D&D players would think, let's do a heist that involves the most elaborate way possible that ends with us just slinging things around crazy people.
Oh, it's a 3-tree plan.
Yes. This is a 3-tree plan.
This is a 3-tree plan. That's a story I'll tell you guys sometime. Sorry, go on?
No.
Okay. So Mia goes to tell Brian something, but immediately they're interrupted by Vince, who shows up out of the blue. And Brian jumps to the conclusion that Vince set him up. Because, well, as we'll find out later, he did. But Dom shows up and takes Vince's side. So while Dom, Brian, and Mia examine this third car, this new car, to discover what's so goddamn important about it, Vince is messing with a chip he found inside of it. And so Dama's like, hey, fuck are you doing? And he's like, hey, buddy, I was gonna sell this chip to Reyes and take the money on my own.
Yep.
And so it's like, oh, so you were the one who set us up. I was.
Yeah, he fesses up to it real quick.
Yeah. So Dom forces him to leave. Obviously, he's a scumbag.
Yes.
To which Vince, he gets upset and says that this whole thing happened because you never listened to me. I can't go home. Your sister's stuck in this life. Where's Letty, Dom? Where's Letty? Dick move.
I know.
Real dick move. Brian investigates this fancy chip and discovers that it contains the complete financial details of Reyes' criminal empire, including the location of $100 million in cash and its delivery schedules. What they're doing is taking it in $10 million chunks, 10 different trucks, and moving it to 10 different locations. Makes sense. So, as this is going on, Hobbs and his team are coming to get him. We kind of flash back and forth to, like, Hobbs getting ready and this kind of thing. So just as they're about to break into the safe room, Reyes's men are already there, making this the least safe house ever. So now there's a shootout between Reyes and his men, and Hobbs and his men, and Dom is hauling ass out of this house. So he runs, jumps through like a wooden window, and begins running from rooftop to rooftop like he's Mirror's Edge.
My favorite thing is that when he jumps, I believe he jumped out a window, and then like the rock like bulldozed his way through another window, and you can see in Vin Steele's little face just like, fuck off!
Well, because this is the first time Dom has had anybody on his level, you know?
But he had that look mid-fall.
Yeah. So yeah, Hobbs chases him, breaking through windows, because no windows in this series can remain untouched. Mia and Brian run out the door, and a couple of guys show up to take him out. But they run through it as Mia and Brian run through the kerfuffle. Dominic and Hobbs do as well, and Hobbs grabs these like bad guys and just beats them to death 3-1. And then he takes the gun from one guy and then shoots another guy with it, and then like pops him in the face. Apparently he's John Wick. Hobbs takes him out with like a double clothesline. It was a whole thing. Dom is almost free, but he runs into Elena, who tries to arrest him. But Reyes and his men show up and start shooting at her, so Dom tackles her out of the way. There are a lot of blind jumps in this scene. There's a point where like they're running off of the roof, Mia and Brian, and they just kind of look down and they're just like, ready? And then they jump. And then this happens like 3 or 4 times to both Hobbs, Dom, and Mia and Brian. Jesus. Everybody escapes. And Elena finds Dom's cross necklace. He wears a big cross on his neck. And she steals it. And I thought they would steal it for evidence.
Yeah.
No, she wears it as just jewelry.
Yeah, because the police in Brazil in this universe are bad.
I was going to say, can you do that?
No. No.
So they find a safe place to talk, and Dom realizes that they're going to be looking for all 3 of them together. And so it's time for them to split up. Brian and Mia will go one way, and Dom will distract them with another. Brian agrees, but Mia doesn't. Because she's pregnant. They're a family, and she doesn't want to lose anybody again. Because as far as she's concerned, she lost Dom once when he left at the beginning of 4, and they lost Letty, so she wants to keep them all together. So Mia asks for Dom to promise her that they will never split up, and they will stick together the whole time, and Dom agrees. Then there's a little... This is our character moment of the movie. Brian asks Dom what he remembers about his father. Apparently, Dom's father had a barbecue every Sunday night, and he would invite the entire neighborhood that went to church.
Aww.
No church, no barbecue.
Aww.
And he would help Mia out with his homework every single night, and even when she went to sleep, he would stay up and study the next chapter so he would know what they were doing and help her out better.
Which is just the sweetest little thing.
Yeah. Dominic says he remembers everything about his father. Brian, however, doesn't remember anything. He doesn't remember the good times. He doesn't even remember the bad times because he was just simply never there. Quiet, you. He was just simply never there. And Brian is kind of worried. Like, he takes a moment and he's just like, I don't know. And Dom says, you're not going to be that kind of father. Which, I kind of like that little moment. It gives Brian a little bit of humanity. Solidly acted by everybody.
Surprisingly so, really.
Yeah, pretty much, eh? Brian tells him that they can't keep running. They have to stop at some point. So Dom comes up with an idea. One last job. Considering this is Fast and the Furious 5 of 9, I disagree. But
one last job. Famous last words.
Yeah, one last job. They're going to take every penny of Reyes's money. Brian says, you realize we're talking about going up against the most important guy in Rio? Yes, we are. Well, then we're going to need a team.
Cue montage!
Montage. A chameleon, Han from Tokyo Drift. A fast talker, Roman from Too Fast, Too Furious. Someone who's good with technology, Tej from Too Fast, Too Furious. Someone good at fighting, Giselle from Fast and Furious, who's now Israeli. She was never Italian. What's Italian?
Or Spanish.
Or Spanish. She wasn't Spanish. Who says Spanish? No. She was Israeli army, just like Gal Gadot, who always was.
Yes, she was always that way, yes.
And we need precision drivers, Leo and Santos from Fast and Furious.
And she never once said, go with God.
That's true. Vaya con Dios. She never said anything like that. You're right.
Because she is no longer that Giselle.
She's a different character.
Yeah.
Like, she might as well be. I didn't even realize that.
You were just imagining what she was like before.
This is basically the Avengers of this series. We're bringing everybody together from all 4 movies up to this point. So, they talk about the plan. Basically, they're going to take the $100 million away from this guy. And Roman stands up and he's like, look, this is not business. This sounds personal. And personal isn't good business. So, I'm out. And they're like, all right, so $100 million. And Roman stops and goes, you know what? Sometimes I think too much. I get too much in my head. Sometimes I go a little bit too much. $100 million split 10 ways. That's like $10, $11 million forever. Yeah, you know what? I'm back in.
I love him.
This is what the movie needed. Because Vin Diesel alone is not enough to carry the film. Paul Walker alone is not enough to carry the film. Them two together is not enough to carry the film. they're just, because they both don't have, they're just missing something. So you add Ludacris, who plays Tej, you add Roman, you add, these other characters we can bounce off of. We have these nice little family moments. And we're going to say family a lot, because damn it do they say family a lot.
They do. They might as well have it tattooed somewhere on their body.
I'm not sure they don't. So like this is kind of what the series needed to lift it up. And I think it really succeeds. So we have 10 different locations, $10 million. But Giselle brings up the fact that it is impossible to do 10 heists at the same time. And she's right. So we don't. We
abandoned that plan real quick.
Immediately. This is the first of 2 times we will whole ass abandon a plan. And the second one is much more frustrating. So we do basically a little job. We don't get to see this hardly at all, but we run in, we hit a couple guys with some guns, and then we get a lot of money. And then we round up a bunch of hostages. And they're just like, do you know who we work for? You and your friends are dead! And Dom, takes off his mask. And, they all kind of take off the mask. He's like, now we know who you are! And he goes, good. That's what we're looking for. And so he lights the money on fire. And he goes, now, you tell your boss exactly who did this. Now, that seems counterintuitive.
Considering we need the money.
To me. But the idea is, now that they understand these small places do not have enough security, so they're going to take all the money, stick it in one big safe in one big location, and load that bitch out with security. Making, instead of 10 kind of easy jobs, into one complicated job.
This is a 3-tree plan.
Yes, ma'am.
See what I mean by this is like a D&D campaign that just...
You know what? Yeah. You're absolutely right. Unfortunately, they didn't consolidate it into one warehouse like we thought they were going to. They put it in a police station. Fuck.
Because the police are bad.
They're bent. So as they kind of look, they see what's going on. They're just like, well, this job just got 10 times harder. And Dom is still 100% for it. He's like, no stopping. Same plan. Let's do it. And everybody's like, no. Why? And Dom's basically just like, because. And they're like, he's right.
Because family. Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit, he's right. Meanwhile, Luke Hobbs and the team have figured out that not only are Mia, Dom, and Brian here, but the entire crew is coming here, tipping off that they are planning something big, so they're kind of stepping their game up. They need intel on the inside, our heist team. Team Furious?
Sure, let's go with
The
that.
Furious 7? They need intel on the inside of this police station. So they give Roman Brian's old FBI credentials to kind of walk in because he has the biggest mouth. He can run his mouth fairly quickly. And it doesn't super work because Brian O'Connell's FBI credentials say he's white. I don't know if you guys know what Tyrese Gibson looked like, but he ain't white.
No. No, he's not.
So I believe he calls it a tan.
Yeah, they look at it and be like, it says Caucasian. I have a tan. Look, I have a tan.
Look, see, this is a tan. So it's kind of funny. He gives him the box, and away they go. Inside the box is a little robot, with a camera on it. And so that's how they get kind of the layout of the place. And this is, so Tej, who's our tech guy, drives the thing, and he's really bad at it. He keeps crashing into things. And Roman and Brian kind of give him shit about it, and they kind of talk about it. And it's this little interaction that helps the film.
Yeah, I really like that part, because he was just like, see, this is why we don't let you drive.
Yeah, see, this is why you keep crashing into stuff. This is why you kept crashing into stuff?
And he's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Stop it.
So this is what I wanted the whole film to be. And there's very much a Ocean's 11 kind of stuff. That's obviously a big influence on this film. Ocean's 11, The Italian Job, that kind of thing.
One last job.
Yeah, it never is. Leo and Santos pop a bomb in the plumbing so they can pose as repairmen to put kind of a link into their security. So
Truly disgusting.
yeah, it's not great. But there's something I notice. The bathrooms that we see, they pop a bomb in the plumbing, and then all the toilets not overflow, they geyser, and they get destroyed.
Yep.
We see a security guy sit down on the toilet, and the door comes up so high that if you're looking correctly, you can see Sack. Like, sitting down on the toilet, you can see the rim of the toilet.
Could you?
Yeah.
I thought you could only see like his calves or whatever.
Well,
like,
it's too close for comfort. Like, you can see like all leg, you can see like thigh, and then like if you can see thigh, you can see everything. So like that these doors are far too high up. If I can see junk, that defeats the purpose. Oh.
Well, you're not supposed to get down like where the camera level is and look for junk, though. That's the point, right? You're supposed to eye level like is just.
I'm just saying, if there's any position I can be in and see junk in a bathroom,
Yeah.
your doors are wrong. Fix your doors. Why do you need to? Of all the things to cheap out in a bathroom, a public bathroom, why the doors? Why the doors?
So you know which ones are taken. Like, I guess.
Still, put a light on them or something. There are other ways.
Is that why men have this weird code about urinals?
Yes.
Okay.
Look, you are in a very vulnerable position when you're in a stall. And I have work to do in there. And I don't want to have to be worrying about... I already have to worry about the acoustics. I don't want to have to worry about the visuals, too. Anyway. So, they see that their exit route, they're planning on doing everything stealthily. And their exit route, they need to be in and out in under a certain amount of time so the camera won't spot them. And there's also a very sharp hairpoint turn maybe for drifting. I don't know. So we need big fancy cars who can drive fast and be furious. So where do we go? The street races. Dom and Brian drive up and they're just like home. They get out and they're just like, hey, you're Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor. Fuck the both of you. You're a cop. Why are you bringing him here? He's like, we know who you are, Dom. And he's like, good. That's what I wanted. He's like, yeah? Well, I want to race you. And Dom's like, oh no. Why?
Oh no, not a race. Oh no.
He's like, oh, you're the legend. You're the big legend Dominic Toretto. How about we race for pink slips? And and Dominic's just like, well, I guess.
He hustled this guy.
Absolutely. And so to show you how far we've matured in this series, we don't see this race.
Yeah, we just smash cut to Brian has the car.
Yeah. So they build a practice track to see if they can get in and out in as quick a time. Mm-hmm. And they can't.
Yeah, the security cameras have a 10-second clip on them or something like that. And they're just like, any one of y'all can drive faster than this camera? And every single one of them go, we're going to fucking try.
The answer is no. Mm-hmm. So Brian gets to show off his, Tokyo drifting skills, which he didn't learn, but sometimes he has. And so we try, everybody gets a different car, a different driver, and nobody can pull it off yet.
What I like is Gal Gadot gets behind the wheel and she gives it a go.
Yeah.
Right? And you just see Han stand there like, I think I'm in love.
Yeah. Han watches Gal Gadot, Giselle, watches her, and he's like, what? Who? What? Me? Yes? Okay.
You can just hear the music in the background going, I think I love you, and what am I so afraid of?
So... they grab so they have that, they're working on the car, the fancy thing. So now they got to worry about the safe. Now Tej knows all about these safes because he's our tech guy. So
question.
Yes.
Was he always the tech guy?
Kind of. He was more of a I guess a mechanic, right?
I was about to say, wasn't Han's old deal that he was a legendary mechanic?
Yeah.
Or future deal, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tokyo, the time-space continuum is weird.
We'll catch up to it at some point. So Tej is kind of our tech guy, which, yeah, all right. We're just kind of changing characters now, but, we're trying. So he sees this big, it's an 18-inch thick steel door. He goes through all the whole thing. And he can crack it, but the problem is there is a handprint sensor. And they need the proper fingerprints, or else they can't get in. They need a handprint. Mm. So for that, we need our chameleon. So Han and Giselle go to this cabana, I guess.
Yeah, it's I would say country club, but it's on the beach.
It's on the beach, yeah. Where Reyes hangs out, just willy-nilly. Mm-hmm.
And where we retcon that Gal Gadot was actually Israeli the whole time.
Yeah,
guys.
She's not just was she never Spanish, she was Israeli military.
Yeah, she was Mossad.
Yeah, Mossad. So she's hardcore and she knows this shit. Mm-hmm. So Han is just like, all right, well, we got to get in there. I don't know how. Mission failure. He tries. Not at all. And so this whole scene is for two reasons. Mm-hmm. One, we need to get the handprint. And two, we need to get Gal Gadot in a bikini.
Yep.
So we do. So Gal Gadot is like, watch this. She stands up, goes to the Reyes, and because she's pretty, she gets let right in. She gets nice and cozy up to Reyes, who just full on palms her butt like a basketball. Mm-hmm. With no hesitation whatsoever.
See, sexual harassment will get you robbed.
Yeah, right? There you go.
That's the moral of the story. It's a morality tale. Don't harass women, don't get robbed. Mm-hmm. This whole time, Han's in the background son of a bitch. And also, she's rocking that bikini, and I gotta say something fast, dude. Because they had this weird flirty thing before she up and left, right?
Yeah, they were kind of... Han is very, like, kind of awkward.
But, like, smoothly awkward, you know?
Yeah. Cute awkward, I guess you could say it. So, they get that. So they go back to this, like... I don't know if it's a party or if it's a street race. I think it must be a street race. And Hobbs has marked every single one of them. Mm-hmm. Not only are they like they're on like top of the FBI most wanted list. So the heat is on and we got to go fast and furious. So they go to this thing. I guess it's a street race, and Hobbs and his crew show up, and Dom and Brian and just a bunch of guys we don't know are sitting on cars and just kind of talking. And Hobbs is like, Dominic Toretto, you're under arrest. And Dom's like, oh, am I? Well, I don't feel under arrest. Brian, do you feel like you're under arrest? He goes, no, Dom, I don't. I don't think we're under arrest. And so they're like, oh, yeah? Guns! And just like, everybody's got a gun trained on him. And he's like, oh, that's funny, because you keep thinking you're in America, where there are no guns. But you're here in Brazil! And then he flourishes, and every person on screen has a gun pointed at the cops. And you can see the look in The Rock's face. He's just like, I'm gonna kill you so hard one day. Just fucking get it over with.
And his white friend walks up behind him and be like, we should go.
Yeah. He really goes up to him and goes, there is no way we're coming out of this alive. Don't be dumb. And The Rock is like, I won't be dumb. So he turns and leaves. He gets into his car and he drives off. And then up sits Tej. He's like, hello, trackers placed. He was under the car the whole time. It was a setup.
Meanwhile, I'm deeply distracted by The Rock's choice in facial hair. He's got a weird goatee thing going on.
It's weird. It's too clean.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like almost evil villain level goatees. Like, it's not...
But it's like, it's so well manicured that it looks fake. Like somebody put a fake goatee, and I don't think it is.
No.
But it's so well done, like taken care of. So Dom breaks into Elena's house for some reason. I think it's just to interrogate her. We don't know much.
He went to get his necklace back. Somehow he knows that she has it.
Oh, he does see it on her neck when they do the showdown. Did he get it back? I don't remember.
Yeah. She was like, you're going to break in here for $20 worth of silver? And he's just like, this is worth more than $20 of silver.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why he became Italian in that last little bit, but he did. My point being is he breaks back in, and then they swap backstories.
Yeah, they do swap backstories. Elena's husband was murdered. He was a police officer. And now she's basically doing this for redemption because I think it was one of Reyes's men who killed him.
She's the last good cop in Rio de Janeiro, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Not for much longer. Spoiler alert. So they're still trying to find a car fast enough to do this circuit. But there just isn't one. At one point, he goes, look, the timeline isn't long enough. What we need to do is we need an invisible car. And my heart stopped for half a second, and I thought, don't do it. Because, like, I saw it Die Another Day. The invisible car chase was stupid.
Wait, what is invisible car chase? This happened?
Have you never seen Die Another Day?
No.
I'm gonna break the cycle. Okay.
No, but you can keep singing. That would be great.
Guess I'll die another day now. Guess I'll die another day. That is the worst Bond song.
The worst?
Yeah, it's by Madonna.
Oh, Madonna, no. When did Madonna become embarrassing?
Around 2005. So, yeah, in Die Another Day, it's a James Bond film, if you didn't know. Q gives James Bond a car that can go invisible.
Neat.
It's got, like, little cameras on the outside, and it projects on the other side on that side, so it looks like you're looking right through it. Which is real technology, but it's not nearly that good.
That's true. Because, like, you get one fold or crinkle in it and you can see
whole
the
thing's screwed. So they have that. They have an invisible car chase on the ice. And if anybody is going to try that in the year of our Lord 2021, it's going to be Fast and Furious. So they need invisible cars. They don't have that. So they get police cars, which makes sense. Which
is kind of invisible cars.
Yeah. But God, for half a second, I was like, they're not going to, are they? Because I don't know how these movies play out. They all grab a car. So it's Dom, Han, Brian, and Roman. And they go steal 4 police cars with no issue whatsoever.
Because I guess, again, the police suck. So they're like, hey, can I borrow this? And they were like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, sure. Why not? They all line up and they're like, hey, we got a quarter mile from here to 2 lights from now. What say we race? And they're just like, okay, it sounds fun. And Roman's like, $100,000. I beat you guys. I'm like, you don't have $100,000. What the hell are you doing? He goes, yeah, but if we pull this off, I'll have way more than $100,000. And Han is like, well, if we don't pull this off, we're dead. So, yeah, what do we got to lose?
Let's make it a cool million.
Let's make it $1 million. And they're all just like, yeah, all right, let's do it. So, this is our one and only street race of the film. We wait for the green light. Roman actually goes before the light turns green, like an asshole. Mm-hmm. And away they go. This is probably my favorite race in the series because it is simple, it is intense, and it is short.
That's true.
And it is not digital.
It's not digital?
It's not digital at all.
Oh.
In fact, a lot of this movie isn't. Except for some of the stuff that is obvious.
Like the stuff at the end.
But a lot of the stunts and driving, like I said, are done practically. Which really gives it a sort of like oomph when you watch them. So I don't know, I really like this.
I really like this race in general because it's just 4 dudes fucking around.
Exactly. And that's why you shouldn't put dudes in cars.
Or let dudes be near other dudes.
Yeah. So at the very end of the race, Dom is in the lead and Brian comes from behind just at the last second to overtake him and win. Brian is ecstatic that he beat Dom. And he starts celebrating to Roman and to Roman and Han. And he's like, oh, I beat him. Did you see it? And Han is like, yeah, dude. Did you see it? Mm-hmm. And Brian's like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, your boy pulled off the throttle at the very end. He let you win. I think it's a baby gift. And Brian's like, what? No, he didn't. Roman? And he goes, yeah, he let off the throttle. No, he... Dom? At one point in the beginning of the race, Brian is like, it's like they get ready to race, and Brian's like, yeah, I'm in. If Dom doesn't cheat again. And Dom goes, you gotta let that go, buddy.
Again, people died in that race. What is cheating?
Mia is out and about, I guess, doing some shopping.
She looks like she was just picking up some fucking groceries.
Yeah, when she gets blindsided by Vince, who we haven't seen since the start of the movie. And, like, he grabs her by the mouth and, like, pulls her into the darkness. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, fuck, that's not good. But in come Reyes's men. Vince, who knew this was happening, and is actually saving Mia. Mm-hmm. So he takes her back to the safe house, which, again, is the least safe house.
The safe house.
A safe house watching safe house is a safe house. And so they bring her back, and Brian's like, gonna kill him. And Mia's like, whoa, no. He saved my life. He's the reason I'm alive. They're coming after us. And he knew that. And Vince is like, yeah. And Dom is like, yeah. You hungry? And Vince is like, yeah. It was good. Because you're saying grace. Which is a shout out from the first movie because Vince had to say grace because he reached first.
Them's the
rules. So we have this kind of like cute little hangout moment where we're all eating and, you know, talking to each other. Mm-hmm. They start talking about what they're going to do if they get the money.
Our 2 dudes whose names I don't know burned the ribs.
Yeah.
Apparently we're going to buy him cooking lessons.
Yeah, that was kind of cute. Mm-hmm. Leo and Santo are their two names. Leo wants to buy cooking lessons for Santo. Tej talks about wanting to open a garage.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman says, so your big dream for your $10 million is a day job? And he goes, I just want to, like, I love what I do. I love being a mechanic. And I just want to create a place where people aren't getting ripped off. You know, I don't have to create a huge, a huge profit factor because I've already got the money. Which is kind of nice. I kind of like these scenes because it gives them more of a character outside of we race cars.
That's true. It does.
We like cars. Mm-hmm. We race cars. Brian and Mia announced to the group that Mia is pregnant. And Roman goes, oh, Dom, is that why you let him win?
It's a baby gift.
It's a baby gift. That makes sense. Is that why you let him win? And Brian's like, don't take this away from me.
And like you could hear them be like, whatever happened to the pull-out method? One of the things that I thought was funny was like back when Gal Gadot got groped for the team.
Yeah.
Was it Tej who was just like, so did he smack that ass, or was it like a grab?
Did he grab that ass?
Grab that ass. And again, like, it comes back again when it's just like, oh shit, she's pregnant. And Tej again was like, so did he slap that ass? Or did he grab it? And they're just like, shut up, Tej.
Shut up, Tej.
And honestly, the fact that he keeps asking that question is kind of funny.
It's kind of a funny little run through. So Dom gives a toast that money isn't everything, but family is what's most important. Take a shot.
But also money will get you out of Rio, so.
So there you go. We get a one-shot walkthrough of everybody getting ready for the heist. And it's go time. No, it's not, because here comes Hobbs.
Fucking The Rock comes in to ruin the day.
Here he comes to wreck the day. Hobbs shows up with all of his guys and just a big cunting military truck. And The Rock and Vin Diesel have a fist fight, which is as cool as you think it is.
Yes.
At one point, Hobbs German suplexes Dom through a window. And at one point, Vin Diesel spears The Rock through a wall. And at one point, The Rock spears Vin Diesel through a window again. And at one, so they're fighting. Vin Diesel has top mount and is just like raining punches down on The Rock's face. And Mia is screaming for him to stop. And so he's punching, and he sees a wrench beside him, and he picks it up, and he goes to crack it down on The Rock's face, like he did with that other guy who got him sent to jail.
Yeah.
So you hear this like thud, and everybody's like confused, and then we pan down, and he hit the cement beside him. He didn't actually hit The Rock with it. So they just kind of like give up, and are arrested. And they're on their way to jail.
To jail with ye.
But because we can't rest for even a minute, they get attacked by Reyes's men. It's an ambush. And everything goes poorly. So they get attacked. Hobbs's men kind of get out and they start firing and shooting at the bad guys. One of them has an RPG.
Yeah, that's how we start this whole thing off.
And fires it at
his friends.
Yeah, at the cops, killing them all. Everybody gets shot and killed except for Hobbs and Elena. And at one point, it looks like it's gonna be The Rock too. So like the bad guy goes up to shoot Hobbs, and then he gets shot by Dom. With a shotgun that for some reason shot an AK-47 bullet. Whatever.
It's Rio. It happens in Rio.
So, Brian and Co. show up and they shoot all the bad guys and they save him. And they go when Vin Diesel picks up The Rock with a bro hug. Very Les Mis, you know?
Yeah. Well, it was a very dramatic moment because one of his friends survived the RPG and crawled out. And then a grenade falls to where he is, and I'm like, oh, he's dead. And then another grenade also falls where he is, and I'm like, oh, he's super dead.
I didn't see that.
And then, like, he blows up in front of The Rock, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Jesus,
your boy dead. Your boy real dead.
In the ensuing violence, Vince is fatally shot. He asks Dom to go see his son Nico because they haven't spoken to each other since he got married.
Mm-hmm.
And Dom promises he will. Dom prays over Vince's body as he dies, and that's the end of Vince.
Aww.
Han shows up and he's like, hey, I have a flight booked out of Rio. We'll be out of here in 5 hours. Let's go. And Dom is like, no. And they're like, okay, that's stupid. They know we're coming. We can't do this job anymore. They know we're coming. They've quintupled security. This is going to be a suicide mission. What are we going to do? Mm-hmm. And Hobbs is like, I'll help. And they're like, fucking pardon me? And Hobbs is like, look, they killed my guys. I will team up with you until we kill him. Enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, okie dokie.
Okay, we flipped the rock. Huh.
So, we can't go in quiet anymore, so we go in loud. Meaning that the previous hour and a half of prep is useless. All that stuff about, like, getting a car that's fast enough to do the thing, and all of that, just throw it out the window.
Yeah, well, the hour and a half led to getting the cop cars, which is...
the cop cars were important, yep.
Yeah. So, that was kind of important, I guess.
But this is, like I said, this is the second of 2 times we just throw the plan out on its ass.
It's okay, we have a 3-tree plan.
Yeah, boy do we. So, with no subtlety whatsoever, Hobbs takes his big-ass army truck and just drives it through the fucking cement wall where they're holding the safe. In drive Brian and Dom. They drive in and hook the safe up to both of their cars. This is important. So they are holding it together, suspended in the middle of them, with 2, like, bungee cords. The Rock then takes out the biggest goddamn gun I've ever seen, and just starts blowing people away. Now remember, this might be a police station, but they are Reyes' men, so fuck them.
Yes. The Reyes bought the police, so,
Yeah. So, Brian and Dom get the car, and they drive away, yanking it out of the wall, and drive out into the street.
I told you, only D&D players could come up with this plan.
Okay. So, there's no subtlety to this plan whatsoever. Dom and Brian are driving. They're on the same side of the road, but the safe is just swinging mindlessly.
Yep.
And is careening into stuff.
At one point, they took out a bank.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they must have killed somebody because that thing went clean through the bank.
They had to have. It was a glass-walled bank. Mm-hmm. And so it goes in through the one window and just crashes out the other side. There were people in there.
Like, we see the people trying to dive out the way and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you definitely hit somebody.
With no regard for human life.
Not even a little bit.
Not
a joke. 0 regard.
No regard. Mia didn't come with them because she's pregnant. Mm-hmm. But she is doing the oracle work, basically telling them which streets are empty and which ones to go down. At one point, the cops are right on top of Dom and Brian. And we zoom into one of the cop cars, and it's Han! And so he's like, alright, you're getting too close, and he just knocks into one of the guys, sideswipes him, and they try to take out the police. Because Roman is also in a police car, and they just take him out that way.
Roman has a little too much fun with it, too.
Yeah, he absolutely does. So this goes on for, let's face it, a little too long.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah, but then the change-up happens. So at one point, they are driving across the bridge. A lot of bridges in this movie. They look behind them, and there's too many cops. They're chasing them, and the vault is weighing them down. So Mia tells them to drop the safe and just leave. And so Brian is like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Like, that's what we're going to do. Dom, we're not going to make it. We have to drop the safe. And Dom goes, you're right. We're not going to make it. But you are. And Brian's like, Dom, what the hell are you saying? He goes, this was always the plan. You're a father now. Go take care of Mia. and he unhooks Brian from the thing, and Brian has to drive off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Dom cannot drive with this safe by himself. It's too heavy. So, in the most ingenious use of the NOS button I've seen in this whole film, he hits it, and the extra oomph is enough to carry him forward. Now, he spins around and drives towards traffic. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, he's going to make the sacrifice play where he crashes into them, and he's... No. He takes the safe, and he comes in like a wrecking ball, and just... like tail whips the motherfucker.
Yeah, he wheels the damn thing like a morning star.
He'll like swerve, and just a big safe will come in and just knock two cars off of the bridge.
I'm pretty sure he decapitated one guy.
So as he's driving, he drives forward and he swings the safe out, and it just bisects a car. It takes the top clean off. We don't see a driver. There might be a reason.
Because decapitation! Yeah, but, like, every person he hits had to have died. There's no other...
They had to have been. They, like, he destroys them. He knocks them off the bridge. Like, he's just a menace to society.
Yeah, but it's real cool.
And, yeah, I was going to say, this is not how I thought this safe thing was going to go, but I'm real happy it went there. It's an insane ending to this car chase.
Like, isn't it like the end? He throws the safe into one car, bails out the car, and then uses the momentum from his nosed up car to slam
into Reyes. So what happens is, like, the bad guys have, like, miniguns in their car.
Why?
I don't know.
Again, we've hit Nazi zombies.
So Dom swings around the safe and uses the safe as a shield to block all the gunfire. He then plants the safe, and instead of using the safe as the wrecking ball, he uses his car as the wrecking ball, hops out, and the car just headlines into Reyes' vehicle. Somehow, Reyes survived that. I don't think anybody else did, but Reyes did. And he stands out, and Reyes is just like, I am so sick of this shit. And he takes out his gun, and he goes to shoot Vin Diesel. And then he's immediately shot 3 times. And we're just like, what happened now? And he turned, and Brian didn't go anywhere. He shot and killed the guy from behind Dom. And so, surprise, Brian isn't going to leave his family.
And then the other guy crawls out of... There's 2 guys. There's Reyes and the other dude.
Yeah.
Whose name eludes me.
Me too.
And he crawls out and he's like, help me. And, like, The Rock pulls up in his fuck off Jeep.
Yeah.
And he double taps him without even looking at him.
Just one shot. That's for killing my team.
And I'm just like, wow, okay, that's where we're... that's a war crime. Like, what?
Yeah, but he's The Rock, so it's cool. So with everything taken care of, Hobbs making sure that Reyes is dead and avenging his team, he goes up to Dom and Brian and he says, look, I can't let you go. That's not how I'm wired. But I can give you 24 hours. You go, get 24 hours, make right with your Jesus, and then I'm coming for you. But the money has to stay. And so Brian and Dom are just like, yeah, that makes sense. So they get in their car. And Hobbs goes, Toretto, I'll see you soon. And Dom turns to him and he goes, no, you won't. And The Rock has a look on his face like, motherfucker.
And here I am watching them drive off into the sunset. And I'm like, we did all this for no much money?
Yeah, so Brian and Dom drive off to take their 24 hours. And Hobbs checks the safe to make sure everything is still there. But it isn't. Nothing is there. The safe was empty this entire time.
It was the new safe that Tej bought.
It was the fake safe. The practice safe. The real safe was sitting inside of a garbage truck driven by Giselle. Did you remember her? They grabbed the fake safe and they switched it out. They grabbed the real safe. And I think it was those 2 guys whose name I can never remember. Santos and his buddy.
Sure.
And they load it up, and that's where the safe goes.
Yeah, we did the old switcheroo.
It was just a fake out, and the hectic action didn't have a clue. That was really slick. So they go to the safe house, which again, not safe. And they see if Tej can crack it. They use the fingerprints they got off of Giselle's butt.
Sexual harassment will get you robbed.
Which I believe is the plot of the film Hustlers.
We keep telling men this, and it keeps not working. So we're just going to keep taking your money.
Yeah. So we wait, and the safe opens and cracks, and inside is $100 million.
Yeah, money just pours out of this thing.
So the money is split evenly, with Vince's share being given to his wife and child, with a note written in Portuguese that says, "To Rosa and Nico, see you soon, Uncle Dom." Because Dom promised he would go see him. Leo and Santos end up blowing $1 million on a roulette spin because they can. They lose. Tej opens up his garage, and Roman goes to see him, and Roman has this fancy-ass car and a new girlfriend, because apparently money can buy you those things.
I mean, she's a gold digger.
Yeah. And Roman's like, yeah, this car, there's only 4 of them in the entire known world. This is the only one on the Western hemisphere. Had to give a deal to a Saudi prince. Got to give him a deal he can't refuse. And so Tej is like, oh, that's cool. And then somebody pulls up with his car that looks exactly like Roman's. And he goes, that's weird. Looks like there's now 2 on the Western hemisphere. And I'm pretty sure he did it just to fuck with Roman. But
like, he found out that Roman bought one, so he was like, oh, hell no, I gotta find another one.
What I like is that Roman wasn't immediately like, oh, Dad, how could you die? They're like squabbling. Mm-hmm. He just looked at it. He goes, you know what? We can both shine together, man. Let's do this. Get dressed. We're going out.
His car doesn't just pull up by itself. There are 2 hot women who crawl out of this rich people car. It has the doors that go up rather than out.
Suicide doors, yeah. Yeah, so that's how they're doing. They're chilling. He gets his garage, and he's doing well with that. Han and Giselle end up together, driving off into the sunset.
They make out while he drives.
They make out while he drives. Do not do that. It's dangerous. And she says, it's like, oh, well, where are we going? He's like, wherever we want. He goes, but what about Tokyo? And he says, we'll get there someday. On a beach somewhere warm, Brian and a visibly pregnant Mia walk down the shores as Dom and Elena, of all people, show up to say hi. Brian asks, like, they sit down, Brian and Dom kind of sit down, and Brian goes, hey, how about one more race? Just me and you, nobody else, just to see who the better man is. Mm-hmm. And Dom is like, all right, let's do this. They get up, Rocky 3 freeze frame ending, everyone's happy, curtain down. Or is it?
Hold those curtains!
Mid-credit scene. Ava Mendes from Too Fast, Too Furious shows up at Hobbs's desk and explains that a group of drivers have hijacked a convoy. Mm-hmm. And Hobbs goes, is it Toretto and his crew? And she goes, no. He goes, then why do I care? Because, and she flicks the pictures over, and inside is a brand new picture of Letty Ortiz, proving that once and for all, Letty is alive. Mm-hmm. Curtain down for real.
Mm-hmm. And she's gonna be pissed.
Gonna be a whole thing. I imagine this will come to a head in Fast and Furious 6, mm-hmm. which will be what we'll take on next week. Mm-hmm. But I like this movie. I think it could have been about 20 minutes shorter.
But where would we cut the 20 minutes, cutie?
In the 45-minute safe scene. Or
45-minute safe scene where we're wielding it like a morning star?
No.
No.
I don't know. Like I said, the fact that in the end of the day, the plan we practiced for didn't end up being the plan, mm-hmm. kind of felt like, so we were just kind of wasting time there for a bit, eh? Mm. But it's not too bad. Could have knocked about 20 minutes off, make things run a little bit tighter. I thought it was a little bit overlong. But I think this is by far my favorite of the series. And so I'm gonna give it a 7.
That seems right. Because I was actually thinking more like 7.5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because like that last part where they're just dragging the safe and they're flinging it around.
Absolutely helped the film.
It helped the film immensely. And I'm just like, yep, they realize they're ridiculous. This is it. We're doing this.
That's what I was talking about in 4. Because 4 had a really lame kind of finale.
Mm-hmm.
Driving through the mines, and it was all digital, and it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
This, like, obviously you can't just throw
a safe around.
a safe through a building. But the practical stuff they did looked great. And I don't know, I really liked it. I think it's got a better finale than the Scramble in 2. And it's just all around a better movie.
Sure, it's a lot more fun.
So this is where I think the series really kind of clicked in for me. Only 5 sequels in.
Okay, so I have a question.
Sure.
If Tokyo Drift is supposed to happen after this, why are we building up to the worst one?
I don't know. I believe it happens after 6. And it's because, spoiler, I did some research. They use the villain of 7.
Mm-hmm.
So if we go back and watch 3, Han crashed.
Yeah.
He crashed, and then the car leaked and it exploded.
Which is becoming increasingly weirder as these movies go on.
Yeah. So according to what's going on now, it wasn't an accidental explosion. Somebody blew it up.
Is that what we're drawing? We're drawing that conclusion?
No,
now?
we're not drawing a conclusion. It's outright stated at the end of episode 6.
Oh, okay.
So
episode 6, like Star Wars.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize I said that. But yeah, so we'll get to that when we get to it, I guess next week. But that is where we're at now. So I think, like I said, I think this is my favorite one of the series so far. If it keeps going like this, which I guess it does, I'm all for it.
I see.
What do you think?
I think, yeah, as long as it keeps up the ridiculousness and we keep going, like, as long as we keep using the Avengers initiative, we'll be doing great. Does Gal Gadot keep showing up, or?
As far as I know.
Well, that's good news.
I haven't really checked, but.
Oh, she's gonna get some vengeance when she finds out her boyfriend was blown up.
Yeah, see, I'm interested to see how that turns out. That's going to be a whole thing.
Well, she was Mossad, so they're going to die.
Yeah, so they're dead men walking. But yeah, so I think just this film has gotten so ridiculous and over the top, and they know it, and they're going to lean into it, and that's what I'm looking for.
I see.
Stop trying to be cool. You're not, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the shit I come for. So, yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 7. You're going to give it a 7.5?
Yeah, because I liked all their little banter.
Word.
And, like, sexual harassment saved the day, I guess.
A little bit. Let's not take away that lesson. So yeah, a 7.25. That's where we're going to be at.
Yeah.
So, with that, I think that's all we got for this week.
Yeah, I think so.
Unless you got any more to say?
Gal Gadot is great, and I love her.
There you go. As long as she's not singing Imagine.
Yeah, don't let her sing. Don't let her do that.
So.
Or let her be in Wonder Woman 1985.
Oh boy, that's in 1984, wasn't it? No, wasn't it 85?
Was it 84?
I've been hearing the words 1984 a lot from jerks, so.
Sure. Look, just don't let her be in the Wonder Woman sequel.
That's rough.
Bad. Oh, so bad.
So with that, we're all done here. If you want to keep up with us and see what we're doing, you can go to my Twitter. I have a Twitter. Twitter.com/emptysquare, EMPTYSQUARE. Cutes.
You can find me at Aquadia_, link in the doobly-doo.
Link in the doobly-doo. We have a fancy link tree now. So it's only one link you gotta click and you can see all of our stuff. It's right there for you. It's nice. So we got that. We have our Patreon if you want to kick in a couple of bucks and help us do this whole thing. We are so unbelievably thankful to anybody and everybody who gives any sort of money to that thing.
It's from the bottom of hearts. Thank you very much.
It blows my mind, and I'm so thankful for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's patreon.com/emptysquare, EMPTYSQUARE. It's truly amazing to us, and we appreciate that. If you are, if you're listening to this on YouTube, and you're like, this is a pain in the ass, I sure wish it was on a more audio-friendly service.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do we have news for you? We are on Spotify.
Spotify!
Yes, ma'am. Link also in the link tree, unless you're watching this on Spotify, in which case, you're already here. So we got that now. You can have all of our episodes on this new season, the Fast and the Furious saga. We are uploading those. So you can subscribe to us there, and it goes right to your phone every Monday night, Tuesday morning, whenever I get to these. It's been a time. For those of you who don't know, we are in Portland, and we have been snowed in for 4 straight days.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
and it looks like monsoon season's on the horizon.
Yeah, it ain't pretty. So we've had a bit of a rough weekend, but we still got it out in time. Here on technically still the weekend because it's President's Day. Whoa. But yeah, so I think that's it for me. Should I watch the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go watch the thing.
Go watch it. It's just legitimately a good movie.
Yeah.
Cool.
Turns out Han's real cool.
Yeah, I like him. God bless.
Why did he die in the movie?
I know, I'm so annoyed. I was annoyed back then. Anyway, and until then, we will see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.